So now, hang on time, we are going to have Luke Biddle of the Profit Duo, which Luke and his wife are business coaches. Luke's a great friend of the Cash business and has spoken before, and he's a brilliant business coach. He's also on the senior team of the Tony Robbins coaching network, and has just come back from Germany where he organises the firewalks where you walk across the poles. So at the end of today, there will be an opportunity to do a firewalk.
Let's do it.
Please come in, welcome, Luke, and this is going to be a little bit more
fun.
To kind of engage your brain and do some work. Okay? So this is, you're going to get some cake just for feedback. But Patricia, you are absolutely inspiring. Yes. But what was very clear is Pat doesn't just hear a good story and think about it, she does it. You know, and that's the difference. So Luke's going to do some stuff with us now where we're going to do a little bit of work on our ideas and our businesses and things like that. And if you engage with it, you will get a lot out of it. I've known Luke for a while now. He's brilliant. It's like a walking can of Red Bull. So,
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, so yeah, Tim asked me to come kind of last minute, so I can't wait to hear what I'm going to say today. Who's ever felt like that? So yeah, I'm one half of the Profit Duo. My amazing wife, Sarah, is my partner in the business coach academy that we run. And she couldn't be here today. She's looking after our 5-year-old. If I had more time, I'd have put a picture of her. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? But never mind. If you want to see him, you can see me afterwards. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at how we create a map for our business to get more into it. So the first question I want to ask you is, how profitable is your business? Or to ask it another way, who would love to have more profit in their business? Okay, most people are right. Yeah, we'd all love to have more profit in our business. What about this question? How fun is your business? Who would love to have more fun in their business? Even more hands. Profit or fun? Both. That's the right answer. I'm going to love you as an audience. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about the 5 levels of business owner, because that's going to let you know where you are in your business and where you might want to get to. We're going to talk about how you clarify where you are and how you move on to the next step. We're going to understand the 3 pillars of business which are essential to building a stable, robust, profitable business. And we're going to make sure that you know where you are against the pillars and the next steps to grow a successful business. Sound good? Yeah. I got all of that out. That was good, because that was a long slide. Okay, so any of you here when I spoke in February about goal setting? Okay, fantastic. So you'll remember this. For those of you that weren't here, goals is the middle part of the planning process. Realistically, we have to start with what Patricia talked about, which is the big why. You've got to know your why, and you've got to know your vision before you can communicate that effectively and get there. Does that make sense? Okay, so who went on holiday this year? Who went on holiday in England? Who got rained on? I went to the Lake District, and we went up there. It was a terrible week, but we had a brilliant time because we were with our family. Now, if I'm going to the Lake District, what's the first thing that I need to know before I can plan a trip to the Lake District? Well, what have you got? Louder? The weather, how to get there, what else? What's the first thing I need to know? It's really obvious. Where is it? Where am I staying? There's another, all good answers, but what I need to know is where am I starting from? Because if I just start driving north and I'm in Scotland, I'm probably not going to get to the Lake District, am I? So we've got to know in our business, where are we starting from? So today, I'm going to be helping you to ask some questions to help you to define where you are, because then you know where you need to go. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay. So this is a guy called Tony Robbins. As Tim mentioned, I'm a senior leader in Tony's organization. I just came back from Germany in September, and we had 13,500 willing volunteers like yourselves who wanted to walk across fire. And this is a great metaphor for getting over ourselves in business. Who here has got something that they want to do in their business and they just haven't done it yet? They might be procrastinating. Put your hand up. It's okay. It's a safe environment. Yeah, something's holding you back. When you do something like a fire walk, it helps you to get into what we call the right state. When you're in the right state, you can accomplish anything, because a state is a combination of your physiology, how you're standing, your focus, what you are thinking about, and the language you're using to yourself. If we say something in our business, oh, that's going to be too hard. What if I do marketing and waste money? What ifs and yeah buts? Who's got some what ifs and yeah buts in their mind and in their business? Okay, so we need to get rid of that, because that is going to help us. And asking questions is the quickest way to get better quality decisions in your business. So what is a question? A question is, thinking is the process of asking and answering a question in your mind. If you don't believe me, you probably just thought, is that true? So this is what thinking is. And as a business coach, what we do is we help people to ask different questions so that their thinking goes up to the next level. Because when your thinking goes up to the next level, your business will go to the next level. And guess what, guys? In business, there is always another level. Make sense? Okay, cool. So this is me in Germany, helping 13,500 people to walk across the fire. It's a pretty big fire. Don't worry, we let it die down a little bit before we get people to walk over it. So, yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to Tim earlier, and actually, I've done about 8 firewalks, and every single one up to this one I just did, I've walked across, no problem whatsoever, because I'm in state. This year I got what we call a hotspot. We don't call it a burn, because that's a bit too negative, a hotspot, because I wasn't in the right state. I got probably too overexcited, and I was so much in other people helping them across. When I came to walk myself, I got a bit overconfident. Now, does this sometimes happen in our business? We know how to do something so well that we forget to do it properly, to respect what we need to do. Who's got to the point in business where they're just kind of on autopilot, like you're driving home? When that happens in your business, does your business grow or does your business tank? Tank. So we've got to make sure that we're actively in our business and we're an owner making decisions on the business rather than an operator doing the doing in a business. Okay, so on your table you will see this business growth matrix, or as I like to call it for fun, a business bingo card. Okay, you'll get your business bingo cards. This is what we're going to be filling in today. And this is basically a summary of how we help businesses. This is our profit system, and it consists of 3 components. The first is the 5 business owner levels. I'm going to go through that with you in a minute so you can identify where you are on the business owner levels. Then we're going to talk about the 3 key business pillars that you have to build to make a successful business. And then the final element is the 9-step roadmap, which makes sure that you are managing your profit and cash, your revenue and marketing, your operations and systems, your financials and your KPIs, your innovation, and then your team and culture. And that is how you get to a successful business that runs without you. Who'd love a successful business, even more successful business that runs without them? Fantastic. Okay, so this is the dashboard. It's very sophisticated. It's just an Excel spreadsheet with a couple of graphs and numbers on it. But essentially, you can see here that when completed, what you've got is a picture of your business where you are right now, and what's going well, what's not going so well, and what needs some urgent attention. Would that be helpful in your business to navigate where you want to get to? Okay, fantastic. So what you need to do, first thing is have fun. The first rule of business is have fun. What's the first rule of business? If you're not having fun in business, you're not doing it right. Because as business owners, we're serving our communities, aren't we? It sometimes feels like we've got a job that pays us less and we do more hours. But we're entrepreneurs for a reason. And it's because we're different and we want to make a difference. And for most of us, we will have a plan that is guided, like Patricia, by God and his mission for us. And we put that into practice by serving our communities with great businesses. So have fun. Listen to the questions that I'm going to ask you. It might get a little bit boring because I'm going to ask specific questions and I don't want to just make them up, which I do a lot of. Answer honestly. So if in your business you think, it could be better, but I'm going to put it's good because I want to feel good about myself. Lying to yourself on this form won't help you in your business. So just be really honest. Is it good? Is it fair? Or is it poor? Does it really need work? Because that's going to help you to identify what you need to do, most importantly, to get traction and growth in your business. So traffic light your answers. For those of you like my wife, you'll have 76 pens in your bag, all of different colours, different size nibs, different shades, all this kind of stuff. My wife loves coloured pens. I myself, one black pen. Who in here has one black pen? All the men. Who in here has multicoloured pens in their purse or their bag? Nobody. Okay. Oh, one over there. Well done for being brave. Fantastic. So, and also, just note down your action points. So when you put down whether you're a tick, whether you're a question mark, or whether you're a cross, make a note of what it would mean for you to actually change that in your business. Make sense? Say yes. Perfect. Okay, so we're not going to do the whole bingo board today. We don't have time. I just want to run through this reasonably quickly, but we're just going to do the first two elements. The first is, where are you on the business owner level? And these first questions are going to be about you personally. How can you personally start to think about how you could start to move up these levels? And then we're going to do the first half of the vision. Now, Patricia shared with us how important it is to have a vision. She knew exactly what she wanted to achieve, and she lent into that purpose and that why, and she became resourceful about how to get there. She didn't have any resources at all. She had nothing at all, but she found a way through resourcefulness. So I want to first of all ask you, how could you be more resourceful in your business today with your assets? Okay, so we'll start with the three pillars of business. So the three pillars of business are vision, velocity, and value. So I'm going to go through those each individually. First of all is the vision. You need to clarify what you want in your business. Where do you want to be? What's that Lake District, rainy, no sunshine destination for you that you want to get to in your business? If you don't have a vision, you don't have this pillar, what will happen is you'll end up firefighting in your business, and you'll have lots of things going on, and you'll be serving every single one of them. You'll be what I call a hero Pete in your business. Hero Pete is my father-in-law, who actually inspired me to become a business coach, because he actually had a heart attack working his business because he was doing everything. He ended up having a quadruple bypass, and he finally slowed down his business and started to delegate to the rest of his team. So you don't want to be a hero Pete in your business. Who feels like they might be a hero Pete in their business at the moment? Doing everything, putting out all of the fires, answering every question, making every decision. Not the best place to be. So we need to make sure a good business vision allows everybody in our business to know what's going on. Patricia articulated this beautifully. Keep sharing what it's about. Keep telling people what you're trying to build. Because then people know what decisions to make, even when you're not there. So the next one is the velocity pillar. The velocity pillar is about building your business and getting growth. Now, who wants to grow their business quickly? Okay, we all think we want to grow our business, but who wants to grow their problems quickly? Okay, so when we build our vision pillar and we start to work on our profit and cash flow, it means that our business is stable before we start to put the pedal to the metal. So when engineers build jet fighting planes, they don't just keep putting a bigger engine in it. The first thing that they do is they actually increase the aerodynamics of the plane so that it has less drag. And in your business, you want to make sure you're reducing the drag of expenses and other costs before you start to put the accelerator on and put a bigger engine in to make it go faster. So you've got to have the velocity pillar in the right order and everything there so that you can create a successful business as it gets bigger. And then and if you don't have that, then you're going to end up being a firefighter. You're putting fires out everywhere, and you just keep getting into cash flow chaos is that one. You keep getting into cash flow issues, running out of money, getting more money, running out of money. Who's ever experienced this in their business? Yeah, absolutely. So this is how we solve it, by making sure that we've got the velocity pillar done. And then finally, we've got the value pillar, which is about adding long-term value to your business so that when you decide that you want to exit your business, then you can sell it for a healthy multiple rather than just closing it down because it can't be bought by anybody because it's too tough to run. All make sense? Okay, cool. So this is the business owner level. So we go from overwhelmed through overworked to organized to overseer to owner. And you've got this on your table, but I'll talk through these in a bit more detail. And at the end of each one, just put your hand up if you feel that this one is you. And I'll just let you know that 90% of the businesses that we work with are in the first two levels. It generally tends to be where people are. And even if you're not there all the time, people will dip into it. So the first one is overwhelm. So you don't really know what to do next. There's so many fires going on in your business that you just can't put them all out, and it's absolutely exhausting. Who feels like they might be at this level in their business, that they're overwhelmed, they're doing everything themselves, and they just can't cope with it, it's just too much. So, if this is you, or you know somebody who is in the overwhelmed position, then the first question to ask is, do you have a routine system to manage stress effectively? Business owners work an awful lot of hours, and they put their heart and soul into the business. We can see from Patricia, she put all of her time into this. She went through some very, very challenging personal situations, but she just kept working on the business, just kept building it. And it's really important, if that's the situation that you're in, that you have some ways to de-stress yourself. It might be mindful meditation practice, might be exercise, but you need to make sure as a business owner you're taking care of yourself. Who needs to take better care of themselves as a business owner? Turn to the person next to you and say, you need to take better care of yourself. It's true though, isn't it? I mean, we're all lousy at self-care. We tell other people, you need to take care of yourself. But we need to take care of ourselves, because who's at the heart of our business? We are, absolutely. Absolutely. Without us, it's not a business. But we want to build a business that can work without us by putting in place all of these steps. So the next one is overwork. This is where everything is working, but you are micromanaging everything because your team are not trained effectively to deal with the day-to-day challenges. What this looks like is that you're making all of the decisions in your business. Every time something goes wrong, people are coming to you and saying, what should we do? Who thinks they might be at the overwork level in their business, where they're doing a lot of the decision-making and things are running okay, but they've got to do all of the decision-making, and their team could do with taking a bit more responsibility. Okay, fantastic. Then we've got the organised level. At this level, your business is running quite smoothly, and you've got starting to get procedures and processes in place so that you can take a couple of weeks out of the business and you don't need to be checking your emails and checking in with the team. How many people in here could take 4 weeks out of their business and not need to open any emails or check anything in the business? Okay, one or two of you. Would everybody like to be in that situation where you could leave your business for 4 weeks? Yeah, perfect. So when you're at this organised level, that's the situation you're in. You can trust your team, you have the process in place, you've got repeatability in your business, and it's at this point you can start to grow more effectively. Then we've got the overseer, where you're actually just managing how the business runs strategically, and your team are trained and you've got everything running brilliantly. And the final level is an owner, which is where you are just making the strategic direction of the business, but you are hands off because somebody else is running your business. Who'd love to get to this level eventually? Okay, brilliant. When you're at this level, it means that you can actually sell your business and people are willing to pay you a healthy price for it, because anybody can own your business. They don't need, if you're a doctor and you've got a doctor's practice, you can probably only sell it to a doctor. But once you're in this position and a doctor's running it for you, you can sell it to anybody because it's just a business. It's not a hobby or a specialist. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay, cool. So get your bingo cards out. We're going to move on to these questions. And I'm just going to get my notes so I make sure that I'm asking them effectively, because I didn't remember all of this because, you know, notice, all that stuff. So, first one we've got is, oh no, sorry. Okay, so those aren't going to click. Brilliant. Well, imagine that says the same as yours in front of you. I will run through them in order, because clearly I can't animate a presentation at 12 o'clock at night. So business goals. First thing is, does everyone involved in your business understand your vision and your goals? So just take a moment. Does everybody in your business understand your vision and your goals? Is it a tick? Yep. I think with Patricia, we know that everybody in her organisation understood the vision and the goals, so that would be a tick for Patricia. If it's a tick for you, great. If you're not sure, it's a question mark if you've got some communication. And by the way, it doesn't mean that you've got it written down in a drawer somewhere, but you don't tell anybody. It means that everybody understands it. Or is it a cross, means you need to do better, and it's something you could go away and do on your business today, if that's the priority for you. Okay, next one is offer and research. Now, when Patricia told us her story, she said, I decided I want to just feed all these people, and I got all these baskets together, and I went out there and I said, hey, I've got a food basket for you. And they said, why do I want that? Now that is because she didn't really understand her market, and she hadn't done the research to understand who wants the product that she's got. Anybody ever done this in their business? Yeah, absolutely. So what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we've got what we call product market fit. What I'm producing in my business is what the market wants, and I know who my target audience is, and I know how to talk to them in their language. Okay, so have a think about that. Is that a tick? Is it a question mark? Or is it a cross for you? Next is goal setting. So in goal setting, do you have a system for tracking your progress towards business goals? Not just do you have a goal, but you have a process for tracking it. Because if you say, I want £1 million in a year, guess what happens in November? You might say, how are we doing on £1 million? What you want to know is, what's my target at the end of January? What's my target at the end of week 1 in January? Because the more milestones you have against the goal, the easier it is to change your business as you go along. If you've ever been on an aeroplane, you'll know that they take off and they have the target destination from London to New York, but all the way through the flight, they are making micro adjustments because they've got sophisticated instruments and dashboards to tell them exactly where they are on the flight. So they're constantly adjusting. And in your business, you need to make sure that you're constantly adjusting so that you will land at your goal at the appropriate time. So again, is that a tick? Is it a cross? Or is it a question mark for you? Next is clear communication. Now, it's not just about communicating with your team and with the market. It's about how you communicate in your business. How many hours do you spend a week in meetings? Meetings are one of the most unproductive things that a business can do. And you've got to make sure that every single meeting is outcome focused. What is my outcome for this meeting? What is the team's outcome for this meeting? What action points are we taking out of this meeting? I was in corporate for 20 years, and the number of hours I spent in meetings where we went in, talked about things, and everybody left, and there was no decisions made and no actions taken, and it is what will drain and kill the business. So make sure you've got clear communication. Everybody knows the purpose of every meeting. Okay, next we've got a 1, 3, and 5-year plan. Do you have a clear plan for where you want your business to be in the next year, in the next 3 years, and in the next 5 years? A clearly written and articulated plan. Not just, yeah, I worked on it and I put it in the drawer, because guess what? The drawer fairy isn't going to make your business turn into that business. So you've got to have a plan that absolutely keeps you focused on what you want to achieve and when you need to get there. So again, for everybody, is that a tick? Is it a cross? Or is it a question mark? Okay, then we've got progress tracking. Do you delegate tasks effectively amongst your team? Who's good at delegating? Okay, so when you delegate, delegating can look like this. It can look like, hey, Phil, I need you to go and do this. Can you take care of that for me? Yeah, brilliant. Let me know when you're done. That is abdicating. Delegating is when you leverage your team to take responsibility for something and you stay connected to them until they give you the result. And at that point, the task has been completed. So you make them accountable, and they go and figure out how to do it. It's not, I want you to do this, and then this, and then this. Go and do that. Do you get it? And then they don't get it, and they fail, don't they? So the difference between delegating and leveraging and abdicating, you need to understand that, because that's how you'll get the most out of your assets, your most valuable assets, which is your people. Okay, team alignment. Is it clear who is responsible for what in your business? Most business owners have a role profile that they write when they take somebody into the business. And then the business grows and it continues to change over here, and then this person's role is nothing like that one over there. Who's ever had that in their business? So you want to make sure that you've got a role profile that changes. What we do when we work with clients is we put in what's called a positional contract. That means that the employee defines the role with you so that you both understand, I think you do this, you think you do this, here's your key performance metrics that you need to meet every month, and every month you have a conversation with them about what's been the interference if they haven't met it, what resources do they need, what training do they need, and you constantly update this on a rolling basis with your team and with your business. So your business is always current with what's going on in the business and what needs to go on in the business. So where are you with that? Is it a tick? Is it a cross? Or is it a question mark? Then we've got a marketing plan. Who's got a marketing plan in their business? 3 people. We do marketing. I spent 20 years in corporate marketing. We do marketing, but it isn't always part of a plan. So at this stage, when you're putting in place the vision for your business, you want to know, what are you going to do for marketing? How are you going to attract new customers to your business? How are you going to take care of existing customers? So you want to make sure that you've got a written marketing plan, and it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be hundreds of pages. You just need to have a strategy that is going to work for you, and you test and learn over time. And then finally, we've got a 90-day plan. Do you have a structured plan for the next 90 days in your business? And I say 90 days because you can have a one-year plan that is like, yeah, we're going to get here. But you need to know on a daily basis, what are your goals for the next 90 days? So you want to have really 3 big rocks in your business. 3 things that are objectives and goals that are going to move your business forward in the next 90 days. That doesn't mean I'm going to answer my emails, I'm going to make some sales, and I'm going to speak to customers. It means I'm going to drive my profitability by 1% in the next 90 days. And I'm going to have 6 different levers that I'm going to pull to do that. Because when you have a 90-day plan, you schedule that into your diary, and when you schedule it, it becomes real, and it becomes possible. And you want to know every 90 days, every 60 days, and every 30 days, what am I going to do with my time? As the business owner, you need to leverage your time to the highest possible activities. And I think, Tricia, you talked about thinking time, but I might have made that up. But essentially, in your business, you need to have time to think, and you need to schedule it, because there will always be somebody knocking at your door, giving you a problem, giving you a fire to put out, and to stop you focusing on the things that are most important. So as a business owner, you've got to create time to think about what's most important. And when you have a 90-day plan, you know every single day what you need to do to move your business forward. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you look at your charts, who's got mainly ticks on the chart? Okay, not a problem. Who's got mainly question marks on the chart? Okay, about half the room. And the rest of you, do your arms not work, or do you all have crosses? Who's got crosses on their, mainly crosses on their sheet of paper? Okay, less volunteers for that one. Not a problem, because now you know, with this in mind, what is most important for you to go back into your business and to do. Who's got an idea, just from that short exercise, of something they need to do in their business on Monday when they go back into the office? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to suggest is we'll just spend a couple of minutes talking to the person next to you and saying, what was the one thing that you took away that is going to make the biggest difference in your business? So just have a couple of minutes, and I'll come back and ask you a couple more questions. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for sharing that with your neighbour. Let's come back to the room. Has anybody had an insight that they'd love to share, or heard an insight from their partner and thought, wow, that's something I'm going to do in my business? Anyone love to share? Leaders go first. Oh, we've got a very tentative arm over there. Thank you so much for volunteering.
So yeah, the thing that's come out for me is that a lot of stuff is in my head, and I just haven't committed to paper and or communicate that effectively to like people that are kind of involved in the business, and that potentially might be quite a lot of stress for them. They don't really, and I think what you're sort of saying about making sure you have that structure kind of go. I know where I want to go. I don't necessarily have that journey out and actually have those KPIs along the way, so yes, it's really makes me that I need to go and write it all down. So it's because then I'll be accountable to that. Because like you say, stuff just keeps coming in and getting distracted by this, that, and the other. And I know what the levers are that I need to pull to get to where I need to be, but I always then forget about them because X client comes to me with this problem, or this freelancer comes to me with this problem, and I've got to sort that out.
Perfect. Anyone else feel like that? They haven't written things down, they want to get it out of their head? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's give her a quick round of applause. Anybody else like to share something before we move on? Okay, one over here. Thank you, sir.
Hi. I think moving forward, one of the things I'm taking away is my 90-day plan. I just feel like, similar to what she said over there, so many plans. I'm very good at planning. We're going to say, okay, yes, we're going to have this, we're going to have that, we're going to have this. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. But actually putting into my schedule to holding myself accountable to say, November's around the corner, I'm not done this yet. Because I haven't made a plan for it. So what I'm taking away from today, or even this typical discussion here, is just 90-day plan. What am I doing tomorrow? What is next week plan? My 90-day plan. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Let's give him a quick round of applause. And what's really important about that is that when we write it down and we make these decisions, what are my 3 big rocks? Then guess what? Who gets shiny penny syndrome in their business? Oh, it's a great idea. There's something over here and he's looking at, I got a really great deal and I could acquire a business and it's going to make me grow. And it's just a distraction from what's really happening in your business and the most important things that you need to do. So when you have a 90-day plan and you say, these are my 3 big rocks, you put a mark on this and say, this is what I'm going to achieve, this is how I'm going to measure myself, and I'm going to get it done, and my team know too, then when someone comes along with a shiny penny idea, you say, sounds great. If in Q2 it's still there, I'll take a look at it. Maybe it'll be my Q2 90-day plan. So it's really powerful in terms of helping you to make decisions in your business that will make your business grow, not some ethereal thing that, oh, maybe if I did that, that's the miracle answer, because there's no silver bullets in business. Turn to the person next to you and say, there's no silver bullets. No silver bullets. Okay, what are we going to move on to next then? So, 3 great questions to ask yourself in your business. What do I need to stop doing? Most business owners think they need to do more to get more, but sometimes the thing that's holding you back are the things you're doing in your business that are not adding any value. In every single business, there will be non-value added tasks. Why? Because it's the way we've just always done things around here, because that's what Mark always does, and that's the process. And often when we don't have an articulation and documentation of our processes, it's a free-for-all. And things happen in your business that don't need to be happening. Maybe they used to happen. Oftentimes, technology creeps into a business and makes a lot of these tasks redundant, but we still do them. So what do you need to stop doing in your business? That's the first question. When you stop doing that, it's going to give you some time, some space, and some resource to start doing something else. So what's one thing you need to start doing in your business? Something you've meant to be doing for a long time, but it's not on your 90-day plan, so it's not one of your big rocks. What's something you could start doing in your business that you know would add value to your customer, to your staff, to your bottom line? Something you could do to start to make your business even better. And then the final question is, what do you need to continue doing? What's something that's working really well in your business that you can make even better if you added a little more focus, if you added a little bit more polish, if you added a little bit more time invested into that part of your business that's already really good, make your business even better. So, in your groups now and your tables, I want you to discuss. Have a little think about it first. Write down. Don't think about it and start talking out loud. Think about it yourself first. Write down what's one thing you could stop in your business. What's one thing you could start in your business. What's one thing you could make even better in your business. And then have a discussion at your table. And when it comes to the stop, I'll give you a little clue. What can you eat in your business? What do I mean by eat? Eliminate, automate, or transfer. There is so much technology. You know, I won't go into the whole AI thing, but there are so many tools that we can use in business now that can streamline our business and take processes away from us. Whether it's a digital form, whether it's a virtual assistant, there's lots of ways that you can take things out of your business by eating them. Eliminate, automate, and transfer. So let's have a few minutes on that and then start discussing it, guys. Do not leave the scene of the decision without writing down what you're going to do. Keep yourself accountable, because I'm sure you've had some brilliant conversations. Who's had a brilliant conversation over this day today? Write it down so that you take it forward. I've had some great conversations amongst the room. I'm going to do a 90-day plan. I'm going to do a 3-year plan. I'm going to write things down. I'm going to communicate better. And they're great ideas. But have we ever been to a conference, got all revved up, and thought, yeah, I'm going to change the world. I'm going to change my business. And then we go, great, how was your business meeting? Really good, really good. What did you get out of it? Loads of stuff. Got to do something. Planning? So write it down. So what I would encourage you to do now is write down 3 actions that you will take to move your business forward. Because it's your business. Whose responsibility is it to move it forward? Turn to the person next to you and say, it's my responsibility. How does that feel? How does it feel to take responsibility for what's going on in your business? Rather than, I've got to sweep the floor because I'm doing everything and it's just we're so busy I don't have any time. Right now, take responsibility for your business and decide what you're going to do differently. Who's committed to doing that? Say aye. Perfect. Okay. Now, we didn't have time to go through the whole of the business growth matrix, but it's just a start. But if you would like to have a conversation to go through that in a little bit more detail to apply it to your business, then this is a link that any of you can use, and you can book an appointment with me and Sarah, and it's just a quick discovery call to say, where are you in your business? Where do you maybe need some support? What are the other areas of the growth matrix that will be useful for you in your business? And we're happy to have a conversation with each and every one of you to see if we can help. So you've got a copy of that QR code on your sheet, so if you don't lose that, then you can just go into that at any time, and we would love to speak to all of you. Final thing I'm going to leave you with, before I hand back over to Tim to lead us in some prayer, is, here's a question for you. 5 frogs, oh, look at that. I'll say it anyway, it doesn't matter that you've got the answer. 5 frogs are sitting on a log. 4 decide to jump off. How many are left? The answer, obviously, is on the screen, but most of us would think it's 1, but there is a difference between deciding to do something and doing it. Because knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Implementation is power. So I would encourage all of you, whatever decisions you've made today, do not allow it to be knowledge that goes unproductively wasted. Make a decision, put it into your diary, schedule what you want to do, and take action on it. Because as Tony Robbins says, one of my favourite mentors, never leave the sight of a goal without first taking some form of positive action towards its attainment. And when you write it, you invite it. You make a decision in your soul that you are going to be different, you're going to implement this. So take a moment to define the first steps to define your goal. What are you going to do to move your business forward? And that's it. Has anybody got any questions before I hand back over to Tim? We've got 2 minutes. Over there? Sorry, Sam, I've completely jumped on you, but I'll come and hand you the mic myself.
So, there's lots of hype around AI at the moment. It seems like everybody you can speak to talks about AI. So let's put that to one side for the moment. What do you think the growth sector is for the next 18 months, 2 years? If we were to start a new business today, what sector would you start by? Really dull question.
Well, thank you for that question, Simon. Great question. So if I had asked Patricia that question 5 years ago, what would she have told me? I don't know. But what she did was she found something that she was passionate about, and she spoke to people about it, and she communicated it, and she had a vision, and she had a reason why. And she didn't do the market research at first, so she gave a load of food baskets to people that didn't want it. So she did a market test to say, does this work? Have I got product market fit? And then, through a series of inspirational interventions, she found a product that there was a need for, and she started to solve a big problem. I think the thing about any business is, if you find a problem big enough to solve, you will always be successful. Now, what are the trends? I mean, you can read loads of meta-trend researches, but really, I think it's about what speaks to you. Because if you want to be rich, you find a way to be rich, but it's probably going to be a painful journey. Is anyone in a business that they don't love, that they're doing it and it's handed to them, maybe it's a family business or something that they've fallen out of love with? Because it's tough when you're a business owner and you don't love your customers. What a lot of business owners do is they fall in love with their product. But what I would encourage all of you to do is fall in love with your customer. Because when you fall in love with your customer, you go to work to serve, and you go to work to make a difference in the lives of the people that you want to make a difference to. So I think that's an enduring trend. That if you're doing something that speaks to you, that you're passionate about, that you've got an absolute vision for, and that God has put you on the path for, I don't think you can fail, even though you might have some falters along the way. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. I think we're up now. So Tim, where's Tim? Has he disappeared? Okay, so, oh, here he is. Thanks, guys.
That was absolutely brilliant. Well, there we go. That's Luke's private jet. So if you want one of them like he has, just go and contact him. I hope you've enjoyed that. That was really useful. And what's interesting when I listen to business coaches is a lot of the stuff you look at, you get kind of know a bit of that already, but it's actually the action behind it that's really important, and then doing it consistently. And you don't actually have to be that amazing at anything. To do well in business, you have to be consistent.